What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the legendary Torture God's career mode. He is the UFC Lightweight champion after destroying Conor McGregor. Or not really destroying him, but he definitely put him to sleep in a very, very, very brutal fashion. So, of course, we know this guy's going to be a fighting champion. And luckily for him, his first title defense is going to be against Anthony Pettis. This is a favorable matchup considering Torture God already destroyed him in their first fight. Yeah. So I feel like this is going to be a fight that Torture God can definitely win. No title defense is easy, of course, but Torture God definitely has already proven he can destroy this guy. Dana White's excited as hell because he finally has a champion who's going to go out there, balls to the wall, every single fucking month, essentially. If he asks him to, he'll be there. Brain damage is not a worry for Torture God. Injuries are not a worry for Torture God, so he'll pretty much just fight anybody. The poster doesn't look too bad, actually. No Torture God on the left side. It just works. Anyway, so Anthony Pettis is 37 years of age. And everything else is completely identical. There's literally no difference between them physically. So we'll see if Torture God can get his first title defense. Torture God starts off missing from across the cage. Pettis moves out of the way of a head kick. Okay, he's starting to learn. If I'm not mistaken, in their first fight, Pettis had really bad striking defense. So that'll be interesting to see if he's kind of fixed that a little bit, or if Torture God is still able to land huge shots on him. There it is. Like, immediately he's landing an overhand and a head kick. He probably could have gone for the finish, but no point in risking getting submitted or something like that by Anthony Pettis somehow. I think that's what happened in the first fight, too. Same position, pretty much same exact thing. Pettis clearly showing that in the game he's just as shit as he is in real life when it comes to actually learning from his mistakes. In real life, you just have to hold him against the fence. Torture God's not going to do that. Like, he's gonna die on his shield if he has to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to sit there and grapple somebody. He wants to finish him. So Pettis is, of course, stumbling backwards. He's hurt as shit. Torture God could finish him. Oh, the taunt! Torture God has no remorse for this fucker, and rightfully so. I mean, at this point, Pettis' brain is more mush than Torture God's. I mean, just look at his defense. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. He's not even, putting up his hands. He's just kind of taking it. Maybe he just wants to be killed at this point. Maybe he's realized he's just so garbage that he just needs to die. I mean, that might be what he's trying to do. He does land a head kick there. Doesn't do anything, and a left hook. Torture God can't get too cocky. Maybe Pettis is just trying to tire him out or something like that. I mean, Pettis is starting to land on him. Look at that. Another hook. Torture God's getting caught by body shots and a right hand to follow it. Uppercut from Torture God doesn't land. Alright, that's a good combo from Torture God. Didn't land with the last shot, but doing okay. But Pettis responds. These exchanges have been pretty close right now. Nice body shots from Pettis. Oof, Torture God's missing, but he's definitely keeping Pettis up there, and his block is hurt right now. His arms are definitely killing him. Oh, look at that kick from Pettis! Holy shit! Just like that, Torture God is at risk of being finished. Thankfully, he survives. I mean, his chin is still there, sort of. I mean, that was a hell of a kick from Pettis. That was a stiff jab though from Torture God. And T-God doesn't land with the overhand. Oof! This time Pettis blocks. It looks like Pettis may have been finessing him. He may have been playing possum, not blocking on purpose to get him tired. Look at him, dude. Look at this fucking movement from Pettis. And let's not forget, Torture God has 96 stamina. So explain to me how it's possible that somebody with 96 stamina is already this tired in the first round. I mean, it's just ridiculous. This game really makes no sense. If anybody understands what the fuck, just let me know in the comments, because I know I'm notorious among my friends for not having any capability of keeping my stamina up, but this is just ridiculous. Torture God, tired as shit, but still throwing. That was a good body shot, too. An overhand! This could be it! Is it over? Torture God's not joking anymore. It's over. Torture God defends his title with 6 seconds left, and the eyes will open. There they go. The eyes of Anthony Pettis open once again. So, Torture God with his first title defense, with a good knockout. It wasn't an easy fight. I think it was a lot more difficult than the first fight they had. But regardless, Torture God defends his title. That's always that's always like the hardest thing to do. Once you get the title, if you can defend it and start making that, start getting used to that kind of a pressure, then there's every chance in the world you can keep it for a while. The lightweight division, though, is very difficult, and Torture God is at the end of his career based on his longevity. And most matchups aren't going to be as easy as Anthony Pettis. I mean, Pettis is pretty much perfect for Torture God, so have to keep that in mind. But regardless, hats off to the Torture One for getting the first title defense of his career. Hopefully it won't be the last. He's almost there. Look at that. He's only one knockout away from having the most knockouts in UFC history. He's only 1 away from finishes as well, so he's got some stuff to brag about. I mean, of course, this isn't updated where Donald Cerrone has gotten more, but still, I mean, he's had a pretty solid career. Especially because you can go back and look at it. Pretty much every fight he's had has been insane. Whether it's a war or whether it's him just knocking somebody the fuck out or him getting knocked out in brutal fashion by Ali Quinta or Khabib or something like that. Now, this is probably the worst matchup possible because Nate Diaz's biggest thing is his stamina, and in the game, he's somehow extremely fast with his punching. So, yeah, that's going to be a problem. Robbie Lawler, meanwhile, continues to talk shit despite Torture God being a lightweight and him being a welterweight who used to fight at middleweight too, so kind of uncalled for. Saying no power, I mean no shit. He's probably 50 pounds lighter than him. Anyway, because Robbie Lawler probably gets up to around 190 pounds. Torture Guy's always around 155. So maybe not 50 pounds, but fucking 30. So I don't know what Robbie Lawler wants, but regardless, against Nate Diaz, the 209, 6 foot versus 5'10", and then there's a 4-inch reach advantage for Nate. So despite him being 6 foot, he doesn't have too long of a reach, but it will make a big difference here compared to Torture God. So, or at least it should. So not an easy one at all here. Kind of worried for him. Torture God starts off strong, but let's not forget Nate Diaz pretty much gets pieced up by everybody in the first round, so that doesn't really make much of a difference for him. His chin is solid as a rock, so good luck finishing the guy. And look how much faster he is than Torture God. That's gonna be an issue. Like every strike Torture God throws, it's Nate can probably land 2 or 3. So it's gonna be an issue. And T-God has to kind of put him away. I don't think he's gonna win a decision. But very early on, Nate Diaz is piecing him up. I already heard him once. I mean, just look at the speed. It's uncalled for. It really is uncalled for. I mean, Torture God's throwing, but he's not doing anything, and every time Nate touches him, he fucking makes him explode, basically. He's going to go to the legs. That's something that the Diaz brothers have always had problems with leg kicks. See if Torture God can maybe exploit that. But look at his head damage already. I mean, Nate's jabs are doing more damage than most people do with overhands or hooks. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, we're talking about Nate Diaz here. But he's beating the shit out of Torture God. Torture God's going to the legs, but it's not really doing anything. That time Nate checked it, which is unrealistic, but okay, fair enough. Nate throws a leg kick of his own. Doesn't really do that very often. He threw a body kick too. Torture God lands a head kick, but unfortunately it didn't do anything to him. Torture God lands an overhand. That's going to take a lot more than that to hurt Nate Diaz. Meanwhile, Torture God's batteries are low. I guess that means he's pretty much, his longevity's fucked. Torture God lands an overhand and sends him backwards. That's positive. Misses wildly with a head kick, unfortunately. Oh, another overhand! He needs to drop him. He needs to go in for the finish against the fence. That's his best chance of winning this fight. Landing uppercuts. He's really getting through the block of Nate Diaz. Ooh, Nate ducks under it. Could have gone for the asshole punch, and somehow Nate Diaz checks another leg kick and makes Torture God's right leg fucking wobbly. Not good at all for Torture God. He's getting pieced up right now. I mean, he's landed some shots, but Nate's he's looking really, really good in this fight. But Torture God's not going to give up. There's no quitting this man. You're going to have to put him to sleep in order to make him stop coming at you. Torture God misses with an uppercut. That would have been bad for Nate. Or potential, anyway. But Nate lands a great combo of his own. Torture God is stumbling backwards, and this is where the Diaz brothers are at their best. Is when they have you hurt, they're going to pick you apart. They're going to just keep on smothering you, give you no chance to recover. And if you don't put him away, which is pretty much impossible, then, you're in for a long night. Torture God does go to backside, which is unexpected considering Nate Diaz is arguably better at jiu-jitsu than he is as a boxer. So that's interesting. But Torture God gets back up to his feet, tries for a head kick. It doesn't work. And yeah, Nate Diaz is having a really, really good fight right now. A really, really good performance. But Torture God, he's always going to be there. No doubt about that. Like, that was a good leg kick right there. That was good. It didn't do anywhere near as much damage as you would assume through that highlight. Look at that combo, though, by Torture God. A 1-2 plus leg kick. That was actually a pretty good one. So, seeing this, there are more highlights for Torture God than there are for Nate. So, Who knows? Maybe somehow the judges scored it for Torture God in some weird way. You never know. You never know with the game. Anyway, round 2. Torture God versus Nate Diaz for the UFC Lightweight title. Something that Nate will never actually do in real life. Torture God is hurt again. Immediately starting off the round, he's damaged. He gets sent back with a push kick. Very, very unlikely for Nate Diaz to do that. But I guess he's just flowing with it so much that he's gonna try to toy with Torture God. Look at this shit. He's doing the Sparta kick to send him way back there. Again, dude, he's trying to torture his fucking body. He's not even trying to like do actual damage to it. He's just trying to remove any minimum of stamina left. Oh! Torture God! Smart move not going to the ground, though. Smart move not going to the ground, because on the feet he has a chance, I guess. But on the ground, he's pretty much screwed. So, yeah, I think he'd rather go out on a shield like this anyway. I mean, Nate's just going after him. This is actually kind of sad to see. Is this how it ends for Torture God? Ooh! Oh, fuck. Is this how it ends for Torture God? Is this how his reign ends? Please, no. This is where he does not want to be. Nate Diaz on top of him. Inside control. Okay, he goes for sprawl. Has to watch out for a guillotine. He gets his transition blocked. Nate's probably going to go for a submission. No, but Torture God blocks his ass this time. Okay, fair play. Nate Diaz gets up. Oof, that was dangerous. That was very, very dangerous, Torture God. But he's still fighting. He's not dead yet. Oof, really good shots there. Good combos. I mean, just look at him, dude. As soon as he has Torture God hurts, he goes in for the kill. He basically fights like GK does. Shout out to GK. Oh, Torture God could have been finished there if Nate had just landed the dick shot that does not get called in this game. Then that would have been over. Another push kick. It's just he's not fighting like Nate when it comes to the kicking. It's just, I guess he has no fear of Torture God. He's so slow. But Torture God hurts him. Has to go in for the kill. No choice. Head kick does not land. Unfortunately, that could have been it. Torture God tries it again. Doesn't quite work. He's trying to fucking time him now. Torture has to be very careful. Oh, he's trying to knock him out. Nate lands a... Just look at those long-ass punches. It makes no sense for Torture God to be just getting pieced up like this. I mean, this is the champ we're talking about. Torture God's trying. He's got no quit in him. Oh, he's hurt again. This could be it. He gets dropped, and Nate goes in for the kill. And that's it. Torture God can't believe it. He has his hand on his chest. It's like he just took a brutal nap. One of those where you just lay on the couch after a long day of work and you don't wake up for the next 6 hours because Ulo's on top of you. Nate Diaz just stole that title, man. I mean, fair play. Fair play. Nate deserved it. He definitely put a beating on Torture God, and it's sad to see, but I guess unfortunately it was to be expected. It was one of those matchups where Torture God he never really had a chance, did he? So, unfortunately. But you never know. This might not be the end of Torture God getting title shots. He might still be able to get one or two. Maybe even if he wins it back, maybe have a couple title defenses too. That would, of course, be a dream for him. But at this point, if it were to end like this in terms of getting title shots, at least he was the champ. At least he got a title defense. And fair play to him. You know, nobody would have expected that considering he had that had that skid where he lost 4 to 6 fights. 3 in a row, one including Diego Sanchez, which is just humiliating. So, I mean, just look at that face, man. Like, how much more can this guy take? How many more fights can this guy take? There's only so much you can do. But, I mean, Nate Diaz is the new champion. Fair play to him. Hopefully, this won't be the last time we fight him. I believe Torture God could beat him if they go head to head again. He had his moments, and with a bit more power, maybe Torture God could have finished him. It's unlikely, but you never know. Regardless, let's take a look at his longevity. Here we go. Ooh, it's at 5.2. I don't remember what it was before this, but 5.2 is not good. At least he made a bunch of money, though. Look at that. $428,000. That's not bad for him. Milton White, talking shit. Oh, I guess he's not talking shit, actually. He's defending Torture God, so fair enough. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get a move on and see who Torture God's next opponent's going to be. In the meantime, if you guys enjoyed the video, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time a video comes out. And let's take a look. And it is Nate Diaz. Or Rafael dos Anjos. But of course, we're going to go with Nate Diaz. So stay tuned for the next episode.